you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test, I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion. Even though I offer all of the solutions, I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you I knew this. When I'm with you I feel so useless, I feel diluted, my heart's been wounded. Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me? Then will you get bored of killing me? And will you get bored of killing me? And will you get bored of killing me? And will you get bored of killing me?
Hey, 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 everybody.
And I play dead and I stay dead. Baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palms. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head, I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test, I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
So if I play dead.
Okay. That's magnificent. It's called Play Dead, and it talks about relationships and the complexities of relationships. We'll have a bunch of different songs, but I thought it beats playing the countdown, and it makes you feel some kind of way. Hey, I'm unapologetically Romel. Check out his page, his channel, and Queen of O'Hara's channel. I thought it beats the countdown, kind of over the countdown. And I love how music makes us feel, right? Music makes us feel some kind of way, doesn't it? And it expresses so much sometimes that we can't express. And it's that tug and pull of a relationship sometimes. Um, Careful driving, Shelley. Yeah, I will watch it till you come back. Thanks, Virginia Woolf. I love how music makes us feel. I was trying to explain to a student the other day how sometimes, back in the day, I'm aging myself, we would make, what were they called? Mixtapes. When we wanted to take songs and put them on there for someone we liked that would have bits and pieces of how we felt about that person. It was like a puzzle. And we wanted them to pull parts of the song that would sort of describe how we felt, but wanted them to figure it out for themselves. You know what I mean? And they can't really do, they could, but they don't do mixtapes now. They might do something else along that line, but those were fun. And you kept them as souvenirs. You could go back and play them later and get all, schlunky in your heart. Well, that's not a word. I made it up. But music is another way of communication. It says so much. And it can make you feel so many ways. And it can take you on a journey when you're sad, when you're happy, when you want to feel blue, when you want to go back to a time in your life, right? It can just express things for you that sometimes you can't express for yourself. Hey there, Debbie Coakley. Nice to see you. But I like that feeling, and I want to incorporate more music in the chat that I cannot get hung by my toenails by YouTube. So I'm going to be throwing it in, and this is one of the groups that I found, or that YouTube will allow, that I like, and they do mixed genre that I can't get in trouble for at this point. So yay! Hey, Gina Maxie, you're the only person I have found that has witnessed so far that I was on TMZ. I haven't even seen it. I found a site where TMZ archives their show, and they haven't archived the one from yesterday yet because my husband and my daughter want to see it. They haven't seen it. But Gina Maxie is my witness that I was actually had my 15 seconds of fame. Funny on TMZ yesterday. And to answer your question, Gina Maxie, I didn't call in. I'll tell you guys real quick. I got a private message on TMZ a week ago asking me on Twitter if I wanted to guest commentary on TMZ. And I thought maybe it was a joke. I wasn't sure that it was real, but they had the blue dot. So I said, okay. And I sat there for 2 hours that morning with the guy telling me, he showed me the studio. They did a test. I had to do a test. And he kept telling me, they gave me so many topics. I picked a few. He kept telling me I was going to go on. I was about to go on. They ran out of time. And I said, are you trolling me? Is this a joke? Are you trolling me? And I schooled him a little bit. And he kept saying, no, Dana, it's not a joke, blah, 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 blah. Can you come on Friday? So I apologized to him and I said, okay, I'll come on Friday. And I still was not, but it was verified. So I said, I'll come on Friday. So yesterday they were very, he was very accommodating, very. He did another test with me, showed me the whole studio with everybody working this time, gave me a number of topics to pick from, and I told him I could speak on four of them. He gave me exact timing, so I wasn't sitting around, and then told me I would be speaking on Elon Musk. So when I came up, I made it kind of a joke because it was about Elon Musk smoking marijuana with um, Joe. I can't remember the guy's name now. And said the feds drug tested him because he had signed a contract. And they were talking about it, um, the two main guys on TMZ. And I was like, first of all, he knew what the contract said. Look at the, and I said, second, look at the date. It's 2018. He had just, Joe Rogan, thank you. And I said, he'd just been dating Amber Heard before 2018. I said, that was enough to give him a contact high right there. And I was inferring all of the, allegedly the drugs that she liked to take, mushrooms, Coca Cola, etc. I couldn't say that. It's TMZ, I might get him in trouble. So I said, he could get a contact high from her alone. And Joe Rogan said, well, I don't think that's how that happens. And I said, yeah, I know that. I was trying to be polite. Well, all of the studio people were laughing. And then Joe Rogan says, I think we need to go to commercial. So I thought, oh no, I might have gone too far. They're going to cut that out. I might have just gone too far. So I asked, I'm not going to say his name in case he doesn't want me to. So I said, oh no, did I piss him off? He's probably going to cut that out. And he said, no, 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 you did great. It was perfect. We want you to come back next month. And I'm like, well, okay then. So apparently I didn't go too far because the next thing I know, Sheena Baxi sent me a note a little while later saying she saw me. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know it was on already. I didn't get to see it. They didn't tell me anything about what time it was going to show up on the East Coast. And I don't know where Gina is. So, Gina Maxey, thank you so very kindly for sending me that note. Because otherwise, I would not have known that it actually played. That it actually played. And apparently, no one in my family saw it, my extended family, because nobody said a word, and I did not tell anybody. I did not tell my mom or anybody that I was on there. And I have not received a note because if you blinked, you probably would have missed me, as far as I know. So if it was not for Gina Maxey, I would not have known that it even played. So God bless you, Gina Maxey. She is my only witness that I know of. Bless your sweetheart. If it weren't for Gina Maxey, I probably wouldn't have a witness. You're precious. Thank you. So, but I think they do have an archived channel that plays TMZ Live, and it has where they have the archives. So when it goes, I'm going to show it. I'm not going to show it because thank you, because I'm afraid to show it because I'm not Johnny Depp or anybody, but I know that when Emily D. Baker showed the video of Depp slamming the cabinets, she got in trouble with him. So even though I'm no big dealio, they own the rights to their channel. and what they play on TV. So I would be afraid to replay it. I would have to ask somebody because I don't want them. I don't. I might. I don't think Emily would respond to my note because she gets so many. Yeah, I'll share a link because she gets so many comments and I'm sure emails. But I'll share a link because I don't want to get in trouble with them. Because Joe wrote no no, uh, yeah, Elon smoked marijuana with Joe Rogan, but Harvey is the guy that runs the channel, and he's an attorney. He's the host of TMZ. I don't want to get in trouble with him. But let me tell you, is that not wild? So, as far as I know, they invite people because it's a whole thing. They had me do both days, they had me do a test, like a test run that only lasts a minute or so to check your volume, check your camera, check the shoot angle of everything, to make sure everything's looks good. So I'm assuming they invite people to do the commentary. I don't know how they do it when people are in the car because, they have to tell you when it's ready and they do it via Skype. So nobody, as far as I know, calls in to make a comment. And how he picked me, Lord only knows. I have no earthly idea. I mean, it's exciting. It was so random. Random, random, random. Smart definitely asked him as not to jeopardize any relationship. Smart, I bet that they like you. Thank you, Gina. Gina, let me ask you something. From your viewpoint, when you watched, did it look like everybody was laughing or did you hear laughing? I just want to know. I was so nervous. I was just trying to get through it. I mean, did it come off funny? Did you hear laughing? Or did I look like a podunk? I mean, they looked like they were laughing and I heard laughing. Anyway, it was meant to be funny. I know you can't get a contact high just from being with somebody. They were laughing with me. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to come off as some yeehaw. Good, good, good. Thank you, Gina. But before we go further, I better drop my intro before I forget. Because we got things to talk about. We got relationships to talk about. And all kinds of relationships. All of them. Okay, my sweet daughter partially triggered this conversation because she was talking to me about love, about wanting to be in love. And I explained to her, we talked about this a little bit before. I said, Eden, the in love part, the actual in love part, lasts about 6 months, give or take. That, oh, baby, I'm in love part. And I said, then you get to the real love part. Because real love is the work part, where you get up and you choose to be in love with the person every day. You choose it. You love them. You're back to back. You walk through hell with them and you walk through the good times with them. They're your best friend. They're the ones if you get in trouble, you know you can call them and they're there, right? And you go through problems with them and you go through great memories with them. That ooh baby in love doesn't last but so long. But then I don't want it, Mom. I said, Eden, yes you do. Love is the real part. That Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and the Cinderella and all that other stuff, it's just a big lie for the books. They've got it flipped. You want the love part. I said the in love, you get parts of that over your relationship. You get parts of that. And you work for that. And you get glimmers of that and it's good. You get glimmers of that and it's good and it feels good. And love is a choice. People get confused. And when they say dumb, excuse my French, shit like, I'm not in love with you anymore, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard. Hey, Arseny Peskov, that is the dumbest thing I ever heard. I'm not in love with you anymore. That fizzles in the first 6 months. That's how people get attracted to each other. People go through that midlife crisis crap when they use that excuse. That's the immaturity of the person. That's the immaturity of the person that haven't figured out the concept of love. Because maybe they didn't have good role models that didn't understand what love is. People get it so confused. Oh, Virginia Woolf, you melt my heart. Says TMZ could use someone as genuine as you are, Dana. You are so genuine as true, Jim. Thank you, Virginia Woolf. I don't think I'm their Johnua. I would probably crack jokes on some of their, I'll be honest, on some of their topics. Or I would be heartfelt about some things, but I'd probably crack jokes on some of their topics. Because, baby, so invested in the stars. I mean, like Kim Kardashian and Pete Davis. Now, that's a relationship everyone's been so invested in, and Kim Kardashian jumped into that relationship because Pete Davidson, is it Pete Davidson? Was vastly different than her. Funny, probably genuine, laid back, very different from anyone she's ever dated. But then we hear an interview recently that he is working on himself because he really wants to be the kind of guy that's a good dad. And the minute I heard that interview where he said that, I heard ding a ding 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 in my head. Because she's got 4 kids. And she hasn't settled everything out with Kanye. And did she really want more kids? And he's been spending more time with her kids. And Kanye's probably been flipping out about it, let's be honest. he's been tattooing his body with, the things they do cows with. What's it called when you stamp yourself with a hot iron? Mistake number one. He wasn't getting tattoos. He was getting those, what they stamp cows with a hot prod. The minute you're stamping your name with your body with somebody's name, it seems like a curse. So Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian, 9 months later, broken up. Am I surprised? No. Do I hate Kim K? No. Oh, he put the kids on his body? Gina, please tell me he didn't put the kids on his body. Did he do that? Did he have their names branded on his body too? Lord have mercy. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. I don't think Kim is evil, but I think she's highly narcissistic to a large degree. I think she cares about some things. I do think she cares about some things, but those things tend to have to reflect well on her. Still narcissistic, though. Still has to come back and reflect on her. I think ultimately he needs someone that cares about him as much as he does Jam. So, too much, anytime your relationship is put out too much to the public, as a psychotherapist, I think it tends to be doomed. I think if you put it too much in the public eye, I think it tends to be doomed. Keep it to yourself. Keep as much of it to yourself as you can. Keep your business to yourself. Some things need to be a little holy. Or, you know what I mean. Keep some of your life to yourself. If you put too much of your business out there, then it's not so sacred anymore. We become so invested in all of those superstar relationships and stuff like that. How invested are we in our own? That's why and part of it might be a problem for me. I don't know. But you don't see me put a lot of my personal family pictures out there. Or for that matter, a lot of my own personal pictures out there. I just have an issue with it. Thank you, Ibmi Yahirt. I hope I said that correctly. I have an issue with putting too many of my families or my pictures out there. I'm not trying to be too something. I just like to keep some things mine, personal. It's not like I'm a superstar. It's not about that. I don't know. It's just a thing for me. But our relationships, our own personal relationships, whether it's family, friends, love, when it comes to our own relationships, like when I tell her, it's important for the people we love are in our own, say, partners, right? On some level, it's important for them to be like our best friends. Because when the in love buzz wears down, They need to be our best friend on some level. Look, I like funny. I like funny. Sometimes I'm serious, but sometimes I like to cut up and be funny. If things get too tense, I like to go funny. I like to cut the tense with funny. You know what I mean? That's like how I like to ease it up, turn things into a joke, to ease it up. So it's better they're your best friend so you can cut through the thick. So it's not that serious. It's not worth going to the hard, hot places to where you're trying to hurt them. Because some relationships start with that in love, you'll do anything for them, to where when you're fighting, you have to be right and they're the enemy. Have any of you had those relationships in your whole life to where you were dating with anyone, to where it turned into you or they had to be right, or you or they finally were trying to hurt the other? You understand what I'm saying? Where they were being snarky or you were being snarky, or one had to prove that the other did a thing, or broke a thing, or left something there, or didn't do enough around the house, or didn't earn enough money, or didn't pull their own weight. You get what I'm saying? When relationships start to go to that place, guess what you're doing? Yeah, guess what you're doing though? Sometimes you're pulling from your childhood or what you watched from your childhood or unresolved things from your childhood, conflict you saw, or examples you watched from your childhood. And here's the thing, too. Have you, in your past, maybe you're married now, but in your past, maybe your friends tried to fix you up with somebody, and all the bells and whistles clicked. It looked like you were a perfect match. Had things in common, checked. Education, check. Personalities blended well, check, check, check. Everything on paper looked perfect. And then you go out with them. They're charming, beautiful. You could talk. Everything just seemed right. Check, 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 check. And you come back and you tell your friends, something just didn't feel right. And guess what it is? You probably weren't comfortable because it was probably going to be a healthy relationship and you were not used to that kind of energy because you had only experienced unhealthy via what you watched growing up or what you had previously been in. So when you get into the energy of what could be healthy, it doesn't feel right. So you propel away from it because it doesn't feel right for some reason. And you tend not to give it a chance. You get what I'm saying? You tend not to give it a chance because something just doesn't feel right and you can't explain it. because you're not used to it. That's why you're not used to it because it's out of your box. So that's why you have to go back to your gut. Remember when I said you need to listen to your gut instinct, not your head where you have monkey mind, not your heart, because sometimes it's attached to the wrong thing. You have to go back to your gut and listen to your gut. The one class all of us need to really take is a class about our own childhood. We need to take a class about our own childhood. Because if we could go back there and reflect on it, about triggers, what we learned about relationships, what we learned about love, it would probably save us a lot of anxiety, stress, and those feelings of blah or yuck or things that would bother us and we didn't know where it's coming from. We've all had that, like, why am I feeling this way? I don't understand it, don't know where it's coming from. I've had that. I'm feeling weird today and I don't know where it's coming from. And I sort of have to navigate it. And if I can't figure it out, then I have to navigate out of it until I figure it out. Or I have to work backwards. Have you ever had to do that? Kind of work backwards to figure out where something started? And we sort of get triggered the same way by friends and family. Sometimes our friends push our buttons, same way family does. But they take the place of certain members in our family because they have similar personalities. It's like we're picking certain friends that mimic personalities in our family sometimes. Not all of the time, sometimes. Sometimes. Because it feels comfortable. Sometimes we do it because maybe we had a healthy family situation or certain family members were the healthy ones that made us feel safe and comfortable and loved. So that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. So I'm reacting to these situations because sometimes we leave our families that we're born with and we go outside of them and we pick new families. And sometimes it's the best thing we can do in our life. Because some people are fortunate to come from very healthy families. And you recognize it. But then there are those that recognize they did not. And they walk out and maybe they've had therapy, maybe they've had support, but they choose healthier families that they are not blood relationship with, that will give them support in ways they never had. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm asking the chat, and I'm going to drop the link. What are your relationship issues? Are those that you have recognized that you have recognized in your life, that you have had to kind of shimmy around or work through or have been triggered by? And I've dropped the link if anybody wants to come up, but keep it brief. You don't have to be super brief, but be that as it may, relationships are like a puzzle. Some people are relationship jumpers. They go from one to another to another to another because they are more addicted to the in love part. They think that's what it's supposed to be, the constant in love part, ongoing for the rest of your life. But that is an addiction. The in love part is an addiction. It is not a true state of being. It can't be a true state of being, first and foremost. Can you imagine being in a 24/7 constant state of, I'm so in love? Now, that's like being happy 24/7 every second of the day. You would never recognize after a while, what happy really is. Because without, like I've said before, having to deal with hurdles in your life, having to deal with challenges in your life, happy loses its meaning. Because if it's a static state, after a while, you don't recognize it anymore. You don't recognize it anymore. That would be like it being dark all the time, right? After a while, you get used to the dark or you get used to the light. Yahert says, let me pull it up. And welcome to the channel, by the way. I hope you subscribed. I'm a runner, so I had to learn to face the issue and not just leave. That's a very good point. Now, in my early years, I understand that because I would keep people sort of at arm's length. I like the chase of a relationship and that how you felt when you would get in relationships. But if it got too close to the point where the relationship could end or it gets sticky or whatever, before I would get hurt, I'd leave. Or I would end it before I could potentially get hurt. So I get you. I completely get you. And I'm proud of you. You recognized what was going on and you learned to deal with it and face it. That takes a lot. I'm very, very proud of you. It takes a lot to admit it, recognize it, and deal with it. I'm very proud of you. And look, people have to realize love is work. Love is worth it, but love is work. Staying in the oh, I'm so in love with you is just not hmm, it's not reality to be in the when I think of the oh, I'm so in love with you, that passionate, I think of that I think of that cartoon, Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew. Remember that skunk in that cartoon that was always so in love with everyone? I'm Pepe Le Pew. He was in love with the cat. He was in love with any female thing that came along. But he always had that odor. And he was always trying to seduce every female cat that came along. And Pepe Le Pew. So romantic. Maybe that's over your heads. But I remember that cartoon so strongly. And being in love is wonderful. That's part of why I liked the chase when I was in high school. That feeling, that enamored, that beginning of those endorphins, the love, the love bug, the excitement, right? Can't wait to see them. Are they around the corner? Are they calling? Are you getting a love note? All of that. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that more than you possibly know. And it's beautiful to get to really personally meet you. It really is. I hope I'm saying your name properly. Thank you so much for coming up. In the chat, what are the relationships that you feel like you struggle the most with? Those in the chat. Or don't. Maybe you figured it out by now. And those in the bushes, by the way, I see you and I appreciate you so very much. And be sure and leave your comments as well. And please, yes, like, subscribe. You are greatly appreciated and it helps support this channel. It's a free way to support this channel and help get it in the algorithms so other people can come here and feel supported as well. Shelley says, romantic relationships the most. They get tricky. People have different ways of communicating. And piecing that together sometimes can be difficult. My daughter says, my husband and I have different ways. We do. He grew up in Denmark. He's an IT guy. I think too much, and I'm a goofball. And you have to find that happy medium. Shelley, do you think the people you get involved with, have the same interests that you do? Like the same things you do? No worries. Or do you think that it's a difference in where you are in your life and mind now? Sometimes we outgrow the people that we used to click with. Shelley, do you think that the people that you used to date, do you have the same interests and stuff? Or have you outgrown them in some way? I guess is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes the people we used to click with, we aren't able to communicate with in the same way because maybe we've become deeper thinkers. Maybe we've, sometimes we're like this and sometimes we start doing this, right? So we have to kind of level in a different direction because it gets hard if people start to not understand how we think anymore. Like, remember when I said, because I was a deeply spiritual thinker, it made it difficult on some people I dated because there's no way they could get me. That was going to have to be a prerequisite. I couldn't help it, for one thing. It was going to take a special kind of person to get me. How could someone live with me being so different? That's a big thing. It's like, I don't want to live with somebody and have a secret self that I can't help being. You feel me? It was hard enough growing up like that and being around people Exactly, Shelley. And that causes angst within yourself. It causes angst. And you sort of have to find your new tribe in a way. You have to sort of wiggle your way out and find your new tribe. And that's sort of what I had to do. It's like I told you when I was working at Six Flags. I wasn't open about, had a near death experience. I had all these unusual gifts because I live in the South, right? People think you're a freak of the week. So I held a lot of it in. Worked at Six Flags very young. And I had the supervisor over me, good looking guy, who was interested in me from the beginning. And I had another supervisor come up to me while I was working on a ride saying, you know, Mark thinks you're good looking, but he says you're kind of weird. And I hadn't said anything to him, but I think he felt this thing from me. Well, how can you control what somebody feels coming off of you? Mark's interested in you. He thinks you're good looking, but he thinks you're a little weird. Weird what? And I hadn't done a thing. I hadn't done a thing to make him think an action. I hadn't said anything. I hadn't done an action for him to think I was weird. So it had to be something coming from me off of me for him to think I was a little weird. You see what I'm saying? A vibe, an energy vibe. Can't control that. Can't control that. Oh, I sound like I'm in a tunnel? Oh no. Does this sound any better? Does that sound a little better? It could be my hair. Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Or either my earphones are getting old. But anyway, it could have been a sense he was feeling off me. And so it goes back to your vibe attracts your tribe. And that is literal truth. You have this energetic vibe coming off of you. I feel like the people who have known me the longest really get me because they know my story. Exactly. If they know your story and you generate a certain energy, which you will, each person does, your vibe attracts your tribe, your friends and those around you tend to generate a certain energy too. They're going to be in your tribe. And also, the more spiritually aware you become, the more peaceful and aware you become, the more, how do I put it? The more you grow spiritually, the more you care about people, the more love you have in your heart, the more you resonate. That's the truth. That's just the truth of the matter. The higher you resonate. You may get blue sometimes and your energy will go, "Ooh." You feel it when it happens. But the higher you resonate, right, there will be certain kinds of people that enter your circle, and the ones that resonate lower than you will no longer understand or get you because you've changed. They will no longer understand or get you because you've changed. You resonate higher. Water seeks its own level. But you want to resonate higher. Look, spiritually speaking, not to get off topic, the world is changing. I said it 2 years ago. Oh no, the noise is back in my earphones? Can you hear me now? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear the noise? Shelly hears the noise. Who else hears the noise? That is bizarre. How loud is it? I can't hear it. That is so weird. I will try to make it quick then. Virginia said it sounds okay. This is a spiritual thing going on then. Marie, you hear a fan? Do you hear a fan? This could be a spiritual thing. I'm not hearing any noise on mine. Okay, good. So what I'm trying to say, because I have a spiritual, I need to take a message to Helping Parent Teal. I had a spirit come through the other day with a friend, and I have not, that reminds me, I have not taken it to them. That is an issue, okay? Um, I will be opening myself up to do um, reading sessions to people from my channel privately, not on the channel. With love donations privately, I'll do privately via not Skype, Zoom for those associated with my channel. Just letting you guys know with love donations. I do have people that can give me feedback to let you know that I am legitimate. I forgot to say that the other day. Um, I don't know what I was saying before. Anyway, the there there is stuff going on in the world. 2 years ago, I said that we are in spiritual warfare. If you pay attention to everything that's going on in the world, we are seeing this to be true. We're seeing this to be true. We have to raise our vibration higher. We have to resonate higher. The more you do so, the more you will be. Your wife wants to sign up for what? A reading? She can do that. Just contact me privately. Um, the more you do that, you will be connected to quality people. You will be connected to more quality friends, more quality people in your life. Do your grounding, do your meditation, okay? Do everything that can make you resonate higher. Take care of yourself. So when I'm asking you to do the self care, it is of the ultimate importance. When you're resonating higher and you feel like those that are around you are not understanding you, it feels like a bad thing, but I want you to take it more as a good thing because that means that you are resonating higher. You are changing. It doesn't feel very good that people are not understanding, but you are in the midst of growth. You are in the midst of growth. It doesn't mean that you don't need to know the people around you. It means that you need to expand your awareness and learn to meet new people that you have more in common with. Do you understand what I'm saying? It means don't stay in your small circle. Very good, Devontae. I'm so proud of you. Don't stay in your small circle. Expand and try to connect with people that are interested in similar things that you are now, that are trying to expand their awareness, that are resonating higher, that are learning new things, that are trying to learn more about themselves psychologically, spiritually, etc. We are going to have to do this with everything that's going on in the world. There's a lot of negativity going on. I have to see what's going on and then shut it down. Then shut it down and work on trying to help people as I can. But you have to help yourself too. And it means you have to learn to decode the relationships around you, friends, family, love. Oh, like Devontae says, every weekend is a no social media weekend. Care more about the relationships around you and less about what's going on with Kim Kardashian and all that crap. It has sucked the air out of so many people's lives about what's going on with Kim Kardashian, J-Lo, housewives, yada, yada, yada. People do less about their own lives and learn less about themselves and their children and their families. I hope and pray my daughter learns everything about herself now and asks all the questions she wants to about family now. So when she moves forward in her life, she doesn't have to pick apart all the family trauma and stuff. You did, Shelly Marie. She said she canceled her TV subscription about a year ago. Good. I mean, I might try to find something on Netflix. I'll flick through it at night just to see anything I've never watched, or go to Roku and see if there's a cheesy movie and watch it for an hour. You know it's going to end okay. It's cheesy, and then I go to bed. I know it's going to end fine. So I look for no negativity night because there's so much negative crap going on. So I'm trying to stay away from it. So what I'm saying is the relationships that we have that are worth it, we got to work it. Got to flip it and reverse it. Work on communicating. Figure out how to make it in a way that we are listening to each other and not arguing about things and not competing with each other and not arguing about who left the towel on the floor. It's like pick your battle. Pick your battle. Is it really worth it? If it's not really worth it, just move through it. Put up a note. Don't leave laundry on the floor. Pick your battle. Make some house rules and pick your battle. If people aren't understanding you, it's because you're experiencing growth in a way you did not before. So it's time to expand your circle and begin to move in different circles. See how you're changing and begin to explore whether it's spiritual or psychological, what area are you changing in more? Learn more about yourself. Learn what makes you feel better. When you're dancing, you're resonating higher. When you're laughing, you're resonating higher. Did you know that? Anytime you're learning something, when you're helping people, you're resonating higher. Anytime you're doing something positive, you are resonating higher. You're expanding. If you open the door for a stranger, you're resonating higher. If you're paying it forward, you're resonating higher. If you're being a caretaker, you're resonating higher. But you do need to fill your cup back up. Anytime you're doing something negative or deceitful or hurtful, you're not resonating higher, you're resonating lower. Think about those things and you feel them. You feel them. It's just like the experiments with plants or rice, right? Anytime you're around a plant and you're thinking about something positive or you're doing something positive and you put that energy around a plant, the plant's going to thrive. Virginia Woolf says, does anyone else agree that relationships get better with time? I think that is part of the cool thing. Over time, the relationship increases in beauty and meaning. That's true, they do. Because you put the beauty and the depth and the experience and the different things you do together and the memories that you have, the challenges, as long as you don't harm or hurt each other, or you're not negative with each other, they do get better over time. Like a fine wine, they get better over time. As long as you take the time to try to understand each other and don't ignore each other, don't treat each other like roommates or ghosts, they're going to get better over time. Because there's so many memories and things along the way. Look, Stephen and I have gone through things that would shatter and tear a million couples over apart. Completely apart. And we have survived it thus far. We just need more memories together. We were used to not having memories alone because we had a medically fragile child. So we always did things as the Fantastic Four. So we need to get more used to doing things alone. But we always overcame things as a complete family. So that has taken getting used to. We're like always a family of four. Yvonne just said, I normally go from Friday to Sunday, but sometimes I add Monday to the list. And it's good to give ourselves goals. And it's good to make a list of what your needs are in a relationship. And when you get a partner, for each of you to say, these are my core needs. These are my, how do I put it? Things that you, non-negotiables, that each party has that are non negotiables in a relationship. Because everybody has non negotiables. The needs that are absolute non negotiables. So when you understand those core non negotiables with each other, you got it made. Because everyone has those things, right? Those core things. People don't sit down and discuss that enough. You see couples that are there through thick and thin, or they get together and one couple is taking care of the other that can't walk, or something worse goes. That's love. That is love. So we have to figure out people that want to be in our lives, those that aren't married or want a partner, that have the same core. It doesn't have to be the same core non negotiables, but are trying to go the same direction, right? That have the same important path. They don't have to be exactly like you. And the painting they're trying to paint doesn't have to look exactly like yours. But it would be nice if you could both talk about it in the same way, right? If you have someone that's speaking French and you're trying to speak Italian and neither of you speak the same language, that's a problem. That is a problem. So it's about coming to a common understanding and people understanding that um, I want to be in love 24/7 is not a reality. To love someone is. Because I'm not in love with you anymore. It's just completely BS. That's what a preteen believes is the truth. The in love is the drug, baby. The in love is the drug. And we get to enjoy the in love intermittently throughout the truth of the love. And that is perfection. That is perfection. Well, honey, that means you have to spread your wings. Maybe you have to get on one of those stupid apps or look at a spiritual app or something like that. I don't know. Or go outside of your city a little bit. But you're looking too much in a little spectrum. I just don't know. I mean, one of the girls around here who was a nurse met uh, an Aussie guy who lives here now. Things just happen. I mean, look what happened to me, and I ended up on TMZ. God only knows how. So weird. That's still so weird. But it said Dear Dana on there. He let it stay on there the second time. Still so weird. Still blows my mind. I still don't know how, out of everybody on Twitter, the guy picked me out. Lord knows how. I mean, I do open my mouth and say things about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp and put up change.org and, but I'm just saying, the world works in mysterious ways. The world works in mysterious ways. You cannot say I'm just saying, never say never. Don't say it's not going to happen. I have told you stories about my life that are pretty unbelievable, but they happened. They have happened. And maybe the TMZ thing happened so I could tell you another highly irregular story that happened. Okay, it didn't work out. That doesn't mean anything, Shelley. Doesn't mean anything. That one in particular did not work out. Ain't nothing but a thing. But my point is, sometimes we're just growing. Sometimes we're just growing. And we have to let ourselves expand and do a little self check and figure out what is going on. How is it that we happen to be growing? And pull apart the strands of what is happening in our relationships and see where we just have to figure out how things are shimmying, you know? Because sometimes we get messages and we get clues in our relationships. And we have to double not spy, you know? We have to decode things. We have to decode them. Sometimes there's passive aggressive things going on because people don't want to be honest with us, right? I'm just saying, sometimes there's a lot of growth going on within us, and it's time to crack the egg. Does anybody want to ask anything or say anything? While I'm still here, sometimes people just want us to read their mind. The biggest problem is when we're in some of these relationships, we can tend to convert to little kids and react that way with each other instead of sitting down and having real conversations. Because people all tend to convert back to their childhoods, to old hurts, and don't really have real conversations about what's going on. But there's nothing better than a real relationship when people really sit down and talk and they're just trying to help each other. Gotcha. See what I'm saying? When they're just really trying to help each other. Because they're partners and best friends and lovers and they love each other. And as the relationship matures, some relationships that make it into old age are the best things I've ever seen in life. Friendships too, like that. We need to go into the school of life and pick ourselves apart. People don't want to do that. They want to believe they got it together and everything's perfecto. Trust me, I pick myself apart every single day. And I don't like it. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it's okay. I'll even tell my daughter, tell me the truth now. But anyway, I guess I've come to the end of this conversation. I probably need to go have some dinner myself. Please do not delay if you have questions or comments after this that I did not answer or that came up and you would like for me to answer. Please leave a comment below. I always answer. Or you can email me at dcstinson5@gmail.com. I will write you back. And I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you so much for being part of this community. You are greatly appreciated. Please, please like and subscribe. Invite a friend. And if there's anything you would like to talk about, let me know. I'm always open. I always listen. And I appreciate you. If you'd like to leave me a coffee tip, more than welcome to. Don't have to. At miracles3@charter.net on PayPal, or at thank you for the heart, or at $ Dear Dana 1111 on Cash App. See, I can't even remember. Everyone have a beautiful rest of your week. Love you so much. And anyway, I guess I'm getting tired, brain dead, need food, don't know. I hope tonight's conversation helped you a little bit. And I shall see you on Wednesday. I'm still going to try to drop a guided meditation. I'm still trying to learn to do more things, so it'll be a little more fun. Thank you for coming to Dear Dana. And everyone have a good night. Please remember, your vibe attracts your tribe, and resonate high. I love you, everyone. Take it easy. Thank you so, so much. Bye-bye. Here we go. Oh, I forgot to let myself go. Bye, everybody.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.